In this video, we are going to talk about Rahu and Ketu. So keep watching. Namaste and welcome to Brahmanic Astrology channel. I'm your host Prasad Mahazani. Help you raise your vibrations and become your true self with the help of Vedic Astrology. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. You'll be getting Vedic astrological videos just like this one. Rahu in the 6th and Ketu in the 12th. Rahu and Ketu always work in pairs. We have to always harmonize these two energies. We often see that these two are not the two different houses or two different energies, but these are the energies, the same energy having the two poles. We have to harmonize this. Let's talk about Rahu in the 6th house. 6th house is the house of your dates, arguments, diseases, about your discipline, about your order in your life, about the routines and repetitive work in your life. Is also about the jobs you do in your life. Okay, and now you have Rahu placed in here. Wherever we have Rahu placed in, those areas get amplified in our life. So in this lifetime, the person having Rahu in the 6th house has to follow the Rahu house and not the Ketu house. Okay, what's happening in Ketu? Ketu is into the 12th house of the horoscope. The combination of Rahu in the 6th house and Ketu in the 12th house is the balance between the practicality of the Artha Trikona of the 6th house with the isolation and letting go of the 12th house of the water element. Ketu loves to be into the 12th house because now this is considered as a good Ketu for the spirituality. 12th house is a house of spirituality and Ketu is a mystical planet, is a spiritual planet, is a moksha karaka planet, and now it is into the house of spirituality. Okay, so people will feel that you are the most spiritual person, and yes, you are a spiritual person, but you yourself don't feel that you have devoted enough in the spirituality. Why do you have this feeling? This is because of the Ketu. Ketu fails you. Wherever you have Ketu placed in, people will adore you for that house, but you yourself will feel terrible about that house. You feel that I could have done it much better with that house, right? You always want the absolutes from that house. You're a perfectionist for that house, and that really fails that house for you. Now, what's happening in the Rahu? Rahu is a planet which amplifies things, and 6th house is a Dushtana house. Now Rahu is amplifying all the Dushtana qualifications of that house, about the diseases, dates, delays, and we don't want these things to happen in our life. But in this lifetime, you have to embrace this. And more than anything, what I have found with this placement is these people have to be careful with enmity. These people have to guard against the enmity more than anything else from the 6th house, because surprisingly these people end up having the enmity. So what is the key to get out of this? The best thing to get out of the enmity is being humble and forgive. Just forgive that other person and move out. That will be the best remedy for you to master this Rahu. You will be far better if you don't get involved into any enmity. When you have Rahu into the 6th house, a person with the Rahu in the 6th house is a disciplined and dedicated person. Why? 6th house is the house which is Artha Trikona house, which is all about the resources, finance, practicality, hardworking, money and resources. The Artha Trikona house, and more than that, it is also the Upachaya house. So it grows with time. So when you are dealing with your Rahu, when you are working on your Rahu, as the day goes and you get older, this Rahu tend to give better result. But key is always forgive. Don't get into quarrels. Don't get into enmity. Okay. Sixth house is also the house of the disease, and now the illusionary planet Rahu comes in here. So these people might have some diseases which are hard to diagnose, or maybe when we go and check the results, the reports are fine, but there is some element and which is hard to find, which is the Rahu thing. Ketu in the 12th house. Whenever the person with the Ketu in the 12th house wants to be alone in this life, like they like to be alone, and whenever they go alone, they feel secure, they feel safe, they feel at home. Whenever they are alone, they like it. But in this lifetime, they have to go into the 6th house. They have to go and serve other people. They have to go and strive for that material success, about that financial growth in your life. And the moment you embrace the 6th house, you embrace the Rahu, you are going to get into the Ketu house. You are going to improve your Ketu house significantly. So when you work in the 6th house, 12th house improves. You work on Rahu, Ketu improves. The 12th house Ketu, whenever you have any kind of 12th house experience, be it loss, be it isolation, be it being alone, something good will come out of that. Okay, you will always get something out of it, and that's the strength of this placement. Like even the 12th house is kind of nullified with this placement of Ketu into the 12th house. These people always have to balance these two energies. And when Ketu goes into the 12th house of the horoscope, what it shows is 12th house is the house of loss. And Ketu is a planet which really, separates the energy, is a separative planet. And it restricts that house. So when a Ketu goes into the house of loss or expense, these people don't spend much money. They spend money wisely. Okay, and this is, I feel this is as a strength of the planet, strength of the chart if you have Ketu in the 12th house, because now your losses are nullified. So these people have to be flexible. These people have to be flexible with respect to the 6th house things and 12th house things. Okay, if they are tied up to Ketu house too much with the isolation and letting go, they won't be able to embrace their Rahu and balance these energies. So they always have to find the balance in these two houses. And 6th house is the house of discipline, and Rahu is the planet which is of the excessive energy. Now this energy is coming into the house of order and discipline. So these people are disciplined. I see this placement as a strength, because now you won't spend much. Now you won't lose your focus with respect to your resources. And it will help you to get more resources, being in the earth house, aspecting the 10th and 2nd house. It will enhance these two houses as well. So yes, this was Rahu in the 6th house, Ketu in the 12th house, as much as I could hold, grasp and share with you guys. If you want to know more about Vedic astrology, these two videos on your screen will help you to dive deep into Vedic astrology, to have better understanding of Vedic astrology. So just go and watch these two videos and start your journey into Vedic astrology. Sending you tons of positive energy, sending you high vibes. See you in the next videos. Love and peace.